Here we go, genre. So usually when you hear the word genre, you might think of things like different genres of films or different genres of TV shows or video games or music. But when I use genre here in an English composition class, what I really mean is any mode of communication, any way you take an idea from your head and somehow put it into another person's brain. On this page, you'll see a bunch of different examples of genres. We have text messages, a TV show, a letter, some data charts, a newspaper, a novel, etc., and so on. So when I use the word genre for this class, what I mean is any mode of communication. The lovely little definition is right here. It comes from the French, if that matters, but it's any form or type of communication in any mode with socially agreed upon conventions developed over time. So conventions are basically the rules, the traditions, and the sort of tools that people use within each different genre. A good example of this would be in the genre of academic essay. Some of the conventions are things like MLA format, using quotes as evidence, and having a thesis statement. Now, if you look at some of these examples down here, text messages, autobiography, letters, newspaper articles, you'll start thinking right away of some of the different conventions. For example, in a newspaper article, a major convention is having an image or a picture with a caption. There'll also be a headline. Those are some things that you don't find in every other example. For example, lyrics. Lyrics don't usually have a headline or an image attached. Now, sometimes they do, but not usually. Advertisements are another one where you're going to have a lot of conventions. Once again, you might have images, you might have text, but you're definitely going to have a product. That's obviously the point of an advertisement. So you're going to have either text or an image that represents a product or a service that they want you to buy. So a genre's conventions can be either a strength or a weakness depending on the writer's rhetorical situation. Now, what I mean by that is, what is your purpose? Who is your audience and what's the context? For example, if you wanted to let me know that you are having trouble uploading a file, you have a choice of many different genres. Most of you would choose the genre of an email, using somewhat formal language with things like, "Hello, Mr. Page," or something nice like that at first. You could, however, have used any genre. You could have gone out and shot a whole movie about it, right? Now, that genre probably wouldn't be very effective for your purpose because it would take a long time and cost a lot of money, and all you really need is a little bit of help that only takes a few minutes. So hopefully you're starting to get the idea that anytime you have an idea or a message to give to someone else, you make a choice about genre. It could be that you deliver the message in a spoken a speech, actually, let's call it that, in a speech or a conversation, or you might text them, or you might send an email, or write an essay. For the most part, using the socially accepted conventions with their own genres will get the best results. I'm just going to give you two quick examples, and I think you'll sort of hear and see what I mean. Here for composition 2, so we know that this genre is a composition or an essay, and here let's see what it says. What up, cuh? Levitt and my boy Dubs are free'll be an extra with their argument in this chapter. Like, why did they save all that data noise for the end? Be upfront with me, you feel me? This argument was trash. Now, as you can see, there actually is the same basic information as an essay here. They introduced a source and the authors, and they're expressing their opinion or their thesis about the argument, but they're not necessarily following the conventions of an essay. The main thing here, of course, is that they're using slang, which is not what we might consider formal or academic language. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's really good for certain situations, but it's just not a great choice for an essay. Now, over here on the right, I have a text message example. Here's the first message. May I inquire after your schedule vis-a-vis tomorrow evening? Reply. I must say you have roused my curiosity. To what end do you inquire? And the final message, I wish to know your disposition towards Netflix and chill. Now, in a text message, the conventions usually stipulate that you use less formal language instead of more formal language. The goal of a text message is to get your point across quickly and in a way that's easy to understand and in a sort of shared language between you and the receiver. Most people don't text like this, or at least I hope not. So hopefully this gives you an idea about what I mean by genre and what I mean by conventions. You'll use the information from this presentation in your next quiz, so make sure you keep a tab of this open, and you can also download this PowerPoint. Talk to you soon.